The Wild Robot, chapters 7 and 8. I want to find out what happens next. So, I think Roz was climbing up a rock at the end. This is chapter 7. Got a nice picture there. The wilderness. Animal sounds filled the forest. Chirps and wing beats and rustlings in the underbrush. And then, from the sea cliffs, there came new sounds. Heavy, crunching footsteps. The forest animals fell silent, and from their hiding places they watched as a sparkling monster stomped past. Evidently, Roz looks like a monster. Doesn't that picture? But the forest was not a comfortable place for Roz. Jagged rocks and fallen trees and tangled underbrush made it difficult for her to walk. She stumbled along, struggling to keep her balance, until her foot snagged and she toppled over like a piece of timber. Like a piece of timber. It wasn't a bad fall. No dings, no dents, just dirt. But Roz was programmed to keep herself in good working order, and once she was back on her feet, she immediately began cleaning herself off. Her hands darted around her body, quickly brushing and picking off every speck of dirt. Only when the robot was sparkling again, oh, sorry about that, there we go, did she continue through the forest. Roz stumbled on until she found a patch of ground that was flat and open and carpeted with pine needles. It seemed like a safe place, and safety was all the robot really wanted. So she stood there motionless, all perfect lines and angles set against the irregular shapes of the wilderness. Quite a contrast, wilderness versus robot and cold. Two different things going on there. Chapter 8 is called the Pine Cones. If you stand in a forest long enough, eventually something will fall on you. And Roz had been standing in the forest long enough. A gentle wind whispered through the treetops, and then, thunk! Onomatopoeia sounds the same as you hear it. A pine cone bounced off her head. There's a picture of it. The robot looked down and watched the pine cone roll to a stop. It seemed harmless, so Roz went right back to doing nothing. A few hours later, a gust of wind rushed through the treetops, and then, thunk! And you know what that is. I don't have to say it again. The robot looked down at it as another pine cone rolled away. And then a few hours after that, a howling wind tore through the treetops. It bent trunks and shook branches, and then, thunk, 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 pine cones began raining down. Thunk, thunk. Roz felt something like annoyance. Ooh, she's feeling emotions. Wow. Thunk. She quickly scanned the air for somewhere safe from pine cones, and she spotted the perfect place when she looked up at this huge rocky shape that towered above the forest. But that is another chapter of The Wild Robot.